Tonight on Newscenter, proposed budget cuts cause concern on campus. A Disney classic is dissected by professor. The Belverton area prepares for a high school musical, and the PSAC's finest strut their stuff for Pro Scouts. Newscenter starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to CUTV Newscenter for the week of March 17th, 2011. I'm Justin Carlo.
And I'm Lauren Tarosic.
In the wake of the tragedy in Japan and the country's current nuclear power scare, studies are being conducted in the U.S. to determine the safety of our nuclear power plants. Pennsylvania houses 3 of the top 10 in the country that are considered most vulnerable to an earthquake. The most at risk in Pennsylvania are the Limerick 1 and 2 reactors designed by General Electric that are located 21 miles north of Philadelphia. Following that is the Beaver Valley reactor designed by Westinghouse Electric located in Shippingport, and lastly the 3 Mile Island plant designed by Babcock and Wilcox in Middletown. This plant is the only of the 3 to have had major issues in the past, with experiencing a radiation leak in 1979. Although odds are low that these plants will experience failure from an earthquake, precautionary measures are still being made.
Last Friday, President Armenti issued a statement to students, faculty, and staff regarding the governor's budget proposal. The plan outlined by the governor includes deep cuts in state support for higher education. Under this proposal, public support for our Pennsylvania state system of higher education, universities would decline by more than 50%. Dr. Armenti said in his statement, although the magnitude of the governor's budget cut is unprecedented, California University has been preparing for years to operate effectively with less and less funding from the Commonwealth. And he went on to say, we intend to stay on course, continuing to provide a high-quality education at the lowest possible cost to our students and creating opportunities that will ensure their future success.
On Tuesday, 3 CalU professors joined together to discuss the movie Remember the Titans. They focused on the racial and gender issues that became the focal point of that film. CUTV's Andy Hughes was there and has the details.
Although the Disney film Remember the Titans was released over 10 years ago, it is still making a huge impact here at CalU. On Tuesday afternoon, a number of students got the opportunity to watch the film Remember the Titans. They were joined by Dr. Kelton Edmonds, Dr. Elizabeth Jones, and Dr. Charles Crowley. The entire group held a discussion about the movie's impact on racism and other issues in sports. The event was hosted by the Women's Center as a part of Women's History Month. Dr. Crowley discusses the impact of the movie as well as the panel discussion.
I think it's only making an impact because it's still socially accepted, it's still socially relevant, to what's actually happening today in sports, and especially a lot of the concepts that you actually see are really happening in sports today even. Because of the fact that certain students are still a little bit closed-minded, so when you discuss them in a panel like this, it really opens up the minds and the views of our students.
After watching several clips of the movie and a discussion about it, the panel answered any questions that the students had. Dr. Crowley made sure that the students knew the film touched on more issues than just racism.
The main message that I was trying to convey, that the movie just wasn't dealing with race. It was dealing with race, gender, sexuality, socioeconomic status, and even social acceptance.
After an hour presentation with 3 faculty members, students got a better understanding of racism and social acceptance in sports. For CUTV Newscenter, I'm Andy Hughes.
Over spring break, Norfolk Southern Railroad requested that the fence at the end of the river parking lot be extended. The fence near Morgan Hall was extended so that no pedestrians can cross the railroad tracks. Anyone utilizing the parking lot 4 who needs access to Morgan or Gallagher Hall can utilize the on-campus shuttle service that is being provided or park near the Hamer Railroad crossing and walk to Morgan or Gallagher. So today's weather was absolutely lovely. I only needed to wear a light jacket.
Yeah, it was so nice today. As hard as I tried not to, I had to skip a few classes to enjoy the weather.
Tisk tisk, Justin, but I understand. It was wonderful weather today. And see if this gorgeous weather is here to stay when we come back with student meteorologist Dustin Snare and your weather report. Stay tuned.
Welcome up to the Cal U Weather Center. I'm student meteorologist Dustin Snare. Let's take a look at your weather headlines coming up. We have gorgeous weather out there today, and in fact, we have a spring-like weekend on the way. Going to be the spring equinox this Sunday, so we're going to have an equal amount of sunlight and nighttime. So rain possible on the way, coming up in your forecast when CUTV Newscenter returns.
Good evening and welcome back to News Center. I'm Gloria Stone with your entertainment report. This upcoming weekend, Belverton Area High School will be presenting the musical Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at 7:30 Thursday through Saturday and at 2:30 Sunday. I had the opportunity to speak with the director and cast members about their production.
Well, in the story, Joseph is the favorite brother of 12 brothers, and his father gives him a multicolored coat. And his other brothers are jealous and sell him off into slavery. After going into slavery, he gets thrown in jail, and eventually he's taken by the Pharaoh to interpret his dream. And from that, he becomes the hero and saves all of Egypt from a famine. And basically from there, he goes and tries to teach his brothers a lesson about what they did to him.
The cast members and directors have agreed the musical Joseph has a wide range of music genres, making the musical fun to perform.
It's really funny. There's a lot of really good moments, and there's lots of different music, and gives us a chance to show what we can really do.
Music. I mean, the show from beginning to end is completely sung.
With a large ensemble, the audience will be surprised with exactly how many people are used in Belvernon's production.
We have a ton of talent this year, and I think the audience is going to recognize the talent. I think that they're going to see the fact that we have children in this show from grade 1 all the way through grade 12. We have a cast of approximately 65 high school students. We have 48 elementary and middle school students. We have an orchestra of about 12 to 15 high school students, plus a backstage crew of 7 or 8, plus all of the behind-the-scenes builders and painters. So, I mean, we pull a lot of students into the process, and I think that year after year, that's one of the things that I hear most often from our audience, is that they're so impressed with the numbers, how many students we have involved.
The Department of Modern Languages and Cultures is celebrating 50 years of language teaching. A film festival highlighting foreign language themes is one of the main activities taking place during the celebration. CUTV's Amber Simcoe went to the screening to learn more about the department.
California University's Department of Modern Language and Cultures is celebrating 50 years this semester by offering 6 foreign films, all beginning at 7 p.m. inside of the Blaney Theater. One of the foreign films shown this semester was Les Miserables, which means the miserable one in French. Students should study a foreign language because it is the key to understanding your own culture.
Way to learn about your own culture, one of the best ways is to see your own culture through the prism of other cultures, through their eyes. And that way, when they challenge you or see things differently and challenge you on something, you stop and you think and you ask yourself, do I have this value or do I have this particular belief because I was taught that as an American, or because I really hold that it's true? So it makes you re-examine some of the values that maybe you've taken for granted. And so again, I say one of the best ways of learning about your own culture really is to see it through the eyes of other cultures.
Foreign films are important for students because they bring out many emotions.
Film is a very important medium because it comprises so many tools to open all of our senses: viewing, listening, enjoying, being sad, being compassionate to the troubles and tribulations that other people feel. It makes it very, very concrete situation for the students to understand different situations in life and different cultures of the world.
Foreign films allow students to see the language as it is spoken.
Actually get to see that language spoken in a context where it's not just out of a textbook in the artificial setting of a classroom. They actually see the language as it's spoken in a real world setting, so it makes it more real.
So true.
Refreshments and admission are free to all students. For more information, you can visit the California University website. For CUTV Newscenter, I'm Amber Simcoe.
The famous voice of the Aflac duck will no longer be heard thanks to Twitter messages made by Gilbert Gottfried. Monday, Gottfried posted tweets that were poking fun of the earthquake and tsunami in Japan. After being fired from Aflac, he posted a tweet apologizing for his actions, stating, "I sincerely apologize to anyone who was offended by my attempt at humor regarding the tragedy in Japan. I meant no disrespect, and my thoughts are with the victims and their families." After all his recent trouble, Charlie Sheen has impacted trouble for another person. Actress Casey Jordan, one of Sheen's party mistresses, was admitted to a Chicago hospital for mental evaluation earlier this week after attempting suicide. Police were suspicious after tweets of alcohol and drugs were stated on her account. Jordan also made remarks of regretting her 16 hours spent with Sheen impacted her psychologically. She, however, has reached out to her fans, thanking them for their concern and support. Tyra Banks stated earlier this week that she has been attempting Harvard University for the past year. Banks is enrolled in the Harvard's Owner-President Management program, which she spends 3 weeks on their campus for 3 years to achieve her diploma. She feels this step is needed in order for her company to grow and be the best for those influenced by it. This past week's episode of Celebrity Apprentice was nothing but drama for the celebrities on the show. After being fired from the show, Lisa Rinna has been accused of harassing co-star Star Jones after she took credit of her project. Rinna was in charge of... Jones claimed that Lisa has sent foul emails to her and that she has hired lawyers to take care of the problem. It is unclear of what the result of the situation will be. Coming to the Vulcan Theater this week is the biographical drama The Fighter. Mark Wahlberg stars as boxer Mickey Ward, which tells the story of his early years of becoming a pro boxer. The movie also stars Oscar winner Christian Bale and Amy Adams. Showtimes are at 4 and 8 p.m. So how do you guys feel about the Aflac Gilbert Gottfried will no longer be the voice?
I mean, I don't really care. He played Iago in the Aladdin, and he was the Aflac duck. Honestly, could he do anything other than play a cartoon duck?
Apparently not. I mean, he did get fired, Justin.
I guess so.
Wish him luck in his next attempt.
He's doing better than Charlie Sheen, I guess.
He is.
This is very true. Very true.
All right. Thank you, Gloria. We will return with Will Moore, who will wrap up the Vulcan women's basketball season in your sports report. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to News Center. I'm Will Moore with this week's Vulcan Sports Report. Last weekend, California's women's basketball squad continued their playoff push to the Atlantic region of the NCAA National Tournament at Edinboro University. After defeating Charleston in the first round, the 5th-seeded Vulcans would take on underdog Shaw, coming off a huge upset over PSAC champion and tournament host Edinboro. Let's take a look at the highlights. To start the game off, California would lead 6-4, but Alyssa Lane would hit the three to put the Bears up 7-6. Immediately after, though, Brittany Lane has the ball stolen by Danielle Luckett, who makes the easy lay-in. California leads by 4. Danielle Luckett kept up her momentum from the first round of the tournament, draining the three. California is up 16-9 at this point. Jacqueline Sanders would keep Shaw in it, though, as she makes a three of her own. California's lead has vanished. It's 19-17 Shaw. Kate Seabaum now for Cal finds Amy Johns, who hits the trifecta. It's tied at 20 apiece. After another shot, too, Raya Gadsden would get in on the action. The Vulcans hit back-to-back threes, and they reclaim the lead 23-22. Later on, Steph Michaels kicks it out to Amy Johns, and California goes back up by 6, 36-30. Second half now, Megan Kermond would hit back-to-back threes for the Vulcans, and California would be up 52-44. It looked like they were going to roll to victory. But don't look now. Here comes Shaw. Kyra Buford hits the jumper in the paint, and the Bears have come back from down 8 to being up 53-52. Buford keeps it rolling as she drains another 3. California is down 7 after that huge lead they once held. California could not find a way back into this contest, though, and Shaw would pull it out again. The underdog comes back to win it. 70-63 is the final score in Kayla Smith's last game as a Vulcan. Demaria Lyles had 23 points and 12 rebounds for Shaw. Danielle Luckett added 15 points. Amy Johns had 13 points, and Kayla Smith would add 11 rebounds. Taking a look at the Atlantic region following California's loss, it would be Shaw moving on to face number 2 seeded Johnson C. Smith, and look at number 8 going all the way, taking out Johnson C. Smith, and they will move on, winning the Atlantic region. So congratulations to Shaw. Not an easy task coming from that 8th seed. Early Wednesday morning, football players from around the PSAC converged upon Adamson Stadium for NFL Pro Day. From around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference descended upon Hepner Bailey Field at Adamson Stadium to show their skills to NFL talent scouts. Scouts from the Philadelphia Eagles, as well as Super Bowl 45 champion Green Bay Packers, were in attendance Wednesday morning to evaluate the talent of the PSAC's elite. Notable players at the Pro Day included 5'4" Clarion running back Alfonso Hoggard, as well as 2010 PSAC West Defensive Player of the Year linebacker Brian Boyce, and former Pitt defensive back Elijah Fields. Several Vulcan players were in attendance, including names such as punter Derek Fiorenza, wide receiver Terrence Moore, defensive back Tommy Campbell, and lineman Jack Range. Most notably, quarterback Josh Portis, who had a good showing at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis 2 weeks ago, was in attendance, but only as a spectator. Now, Josh Portis did attend the Pro Day at the University of Pittsburgh on Tuesday. The first round of the NFL Draft will begin on Thursday, April 28th, with subsequent rounds occurring on the 29th and 30th. Now, changing gears, CUTV has been making its way around the sports clubs here at Cal U, taking an in-depth look at all of the activities that you can become a part of. This week, CUTV's Clinton Logan chalked up a trip to the corner pocket in the Natali Student Union to take an inside look at the Cal U Billiards Club.
Although the weather outside is warming up, that's no reason not to stop into the Natali Student Center and check out the corner pocket located next to the Prime House Subs, where the Billiards Club meets. The Billiards Club offers a friendly and welcoming environment as players of any level are welcome to join. The corner pocket offers 5 quality pool tables that are available for anyone looking to play the game. The corner pocket also acts as a great lounge or break area between classes. So what do the members think about this club?
I play billiards here, obviously, and we can teach you how to play the game of billiards. If you want to get competitive or you just want to learn the game, just have a good time, come down, we can teach you. Myself, CJ, Colin, anybody can help you that basically knows the game. So come on down if you want to learn or anything like that.
Club just, it brings a fun time for people. We do a whole lot of other stuff out of the pool. We try to get a whole bunch of group activities. We have poker tournaments, other fun stuff like that. Actually, if you're a serious pool player, we started recently. They're called ranked matches. Come in, play a ranked match, and it's a good time. It's all free. Winner gets like $150, so it's just something to try to bring in a little bit of a crowd.
Information on Billiards Club, feel free to come down to the corner pocket in the Natali Student Center. For CUTV Newscenter, I'm Clinton Logan.
Thank you, Clint. Finally, on Wednesday, March 9th, Cal U junior Melissa Gates became the first NCAA individual champion in Vulcan swimming history, winning the 50 freestyle at the NCAA Division II Championships in San Antonio, Texas. Tune in to News Center next week as CUTV will have an interview with the NCAA national champion, Melissa Gates. So guys, speaking of NCAA tournaments, the March Madness officially kicked off today. We've already seen some big upsets and some close call games.
Yes.
Lauren, Justin, who do you guys have in the championship this year?
I have Duke and Kansas in my bracket, Will.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't even want to talk about it. I've already given up on my own bracket.
Well, that's a shame. I have Duke and Kansas as well. My bracket's still looking pretty good, so we'll see how that pans out.
Me too. I hope we do well.
I do too.
All right, thanks, Will. That will do it for this edition of News Center. Don't forget, you can check out News Center anytime online. You can visit our page by going to youtube.com and searching CUTV News Center.
We'll see you next week.